as we hit the month of June.
Juneteenth.
This year it's about to be halfway over with, Miss Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
They say time flies when you're having fun.
Or when you pissed off a lot. I mean,
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry. Too much.
I'm trying to figure out you having fun or you mad.
It depends. Either way, time flying.
It's flying right by us.
It's flying.
And so
Productivity or no, it's flying.
as it flies on by, we thank y'all for coming on to the Watch for the Hook Business Entrepreneur Podcast. On every Watch for the Hook Wednesdays, you've got Michael with.
Tatiana.
All right, and Miss Parker is already nipping at the bit to go at it. So guess what, folks?
Let's get with the shit.
Yeah, cause she on it. She on that fuck shit today. I'm telling you, she ready. She ready for it. So
I'm coming in hot. I need to
demon
stop.
coming in hot like a volcano.
I need to back away from my mic.
Yeah, so this episode, we're gonna be talking about customer satisfaction and the referral process.
Oh, that bullshit.
So, business owners, you know, you get customers from other customers.
Word of mouth, absolutely.
Now, if your customer is not happy with your performance,
Or is unwilling to open their mouth.
is that a good thing for your business?
Hell no. It ain't. It won't be. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people think just because you could trash a business or a person by talking bad about them in public,
You can do worse by simply not saying nothing.
they be like, man, how's it going with so and so? Y'all heard that?
Crickets.
Yeah, the crickets. Damn, that's got to be rough.
Right. The fact that you are now choosing or you are unwilling to speak.
You're refraining from
Okay. Yeah. Ain't got nothing nice. Ain't got nothing nice. You won't say you ain't got nothing nice. They don't say nothing at all.
Hey, that what they say, that silence loud in the motherfucker.
But refusing to keep your comments, your thoughts, your opinions, your answers to their questions to yourself, right? You're choosing to not speak. I'm refraining from speaking because A, I don't want to say nothing negative, but B, I damn sure ain't got nothing positive to say.
But this the crazy thing. You know, as human beings, especially us black folk, we ask you one question, we don't get an answer. So, how's it going with so and so? They ain't doing a good job.
Right. They're going to immediately go there. Because see, what you're doing is you're leaving it open for interpretation. And had you done a good job, or I continued to give a damn about you, I would make sure I did everything in my willpower to make sure everybody understood and was aware of the great things that you've done. But the fact that you haven't, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. And what they can't say is, she said, no, no, no. She didn't say, no, no, no. She ain't said nothing. You can interpret the shit for however you want. And it's your fault. But you out here with this trash ass customer service leading to non-referrals.
And see, that's one of the main things we talked about, especially on the apparel side, is that, we try to have our customers like our family.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to make sure that we give them the great quality product for one.
Right.
Number two is great customer service. And then number three is that they will come back and also spread good intentions
Right.
about us.
Right.
It is hard for a customer to spread a positive word about you when they feel like they want to say fuck you.
Exactly. When I get to the point, never mind, I'm not going to use that example. It'll be, no, I'm not going to use that example. You know the one I'm going to use.
I know. What it is that being in the business of being a business owner, you want to make sure your customers are happy.
You want them to want to come back. You want them to want to see you succeed. You want them to have everybody they know visit your whatever you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take part of, engage with, um, partner with, whatever it is you do. Because That individual was so great. The pictures they took of me and my family or my daughter or my husband or my event was so freaking wonderful. I know they're gonna do a great job for you. I want to
Yes,
tell the world about you.
yes. And even like for us, we've had other people that have worked with us,
Uh-huh.
and we've had more than not great things to say about those people.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, have we had some fuck shit?
That
Yes.
yep.
And we discussed that fuck shit
Hmm.
more than once. But as a customer, it is still always your right to tell the truth
Yeah,
about your experience.
but if that customer happens to tell the truth and it ain't what the business owner wants to hear, now they're gonna say they over there lying.
But they say it's always two sides
Yeah,
to every
it's too
story,
hard.
and somewhere the truth is in the middle.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, it's really not true.
That's what I was about
The
to
truth
say.
is usually on the side of the person that's pissed off the most. Because I'm telling you, the people that are pissed off the most are more than likely telling the hardcore truth. And then that hardcore truth thing.
Yeah, but they'll say, that's they truth. This ain't what they have. Because it's always different lens, different perspectives from which you can look at things and you can take things. But what I've learned, black and white is black and white. Facts are facts.
Dollars and cents.
Right. The
Time,
you can't lie.
times and all.
Yeah, you can't lie on what's put down, on paper. You can't lie. Or well, you can just pretend stupid. Because I've seen that too.
But what have I learned from listening to another podcast? Math is the only thing that doesn't have an opinion.
Nope.
If you tell me you're gonna do something in a certain amount of time, then that time passes. And then the time just keeps on
And
passing.
you ain't did nothing. You've
And
not met any of those milestones.
the
You've
math
not
ain't
hit
answered.
those metrics. Then you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
When you signed on the dotted line,
Right.
you gave your best foot forward.
Right. With
You
your pitch.
with your contractual
Your
agreements.
pitch. That elevator pitch.
And then the pitch was swung and missed.
It was.
And you're out.
Right. But it's like, people get upset if the truth is said. The truth is exposed. They're exposed.
Because the truth it does hurt.
And then you hear other people start to come out the woodworks.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh, everybody out to get me. Trust me, boo. You ain't that fucking special.
But then also remember, you might have knew some truths beforehand.
And you sat on those.
Sat on them.
You was in it too deep to
Yeah.
get out now.
You held it close to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm
Trying to see that thing through.
oh man, see it through. Now you like, do I even want to see you?
Hell no, I don't want to see you. I want to see your back leaving.
I said, so what are you doing? I want to
I see your back leaving.
it's weird because it ain't weird. You know, what do they say? You have to laugh sometimes to keep from crying.
Or cussing.
That too. And so when you're looking at the customer satisfaction leading to the customer referral, it's a chain.
It is. It's a
And
ripple effect, domino effect.
yes. And when just think about it, you're speaking of dominoes, let's roll with that. When you see these people make these elaborate falling domino designs, and they make these pretty curlers and all that shit. What happens if one domino is misplaced badly? It stops.
Yeah.
So just think about
I'm
that.
like, it's not gonna continue to fall.
Exactly.
It's gonna stop.
So then they never show you the ones that didn't work.
No.
They only show you the ones that made it all the way through.
But it comes a point in time where you start to question the level of competency. Like when you set that domino like that, it did not look like the rest of the dominoes.
You saw it was placed
It
wrong
didn't flow. It didn't follow that path. Are you not competent enough
to fix it.
to fix it before you initiate the process?
Because when it gets to rolling, we rolling.
And then you gonna stop.
Come to a screech
But
halt.
then you get mad when questions are posed and you don't want to answer.
No, because
Communication is key.
if people start answering questions about why something did not do or go or flow the way it's supposed to, then that means that they miscalculated and then they should have adjusted. We talked about the word adapted.
But I think more importantly, you don't want to answer the questions because you're too focused on trying to play the fucking blame game.
So who do you blame?
Blame yourself for being incompetent for misplacing the goddamn domino to begin with.
Then they'll say it's the domino fault.
It's always somebody else's fault. Never your fault.
The domino knew it was supposed to fall forward.
That
To the
domino,
side.
that domino looked like the rest of them. Your quality control is trash.
You asked the domino why you didn't fall away.
Goddamn domino can't talk.
Domino ain't said shit to
Domino
nobody.
can't talk.
Domino was upset. Because the domino like, what the fuck you blame me for? You want people here.
You right. It's just like then you get into that whole vicious cycle. The whole vicious cycle of the blame game.
Back and forth.
It ain't never not
Like Aaliyah.
right.
Let me take you go.
I mean, we ask you, is it raining outside? Instead of you saying yes or no, you respond back, I don't know. Is it raining outside? Like, we don't know. Could you go check? Well, let's see. My door is kind of sticking. I can't really get outside right now. Or I'm coughing. I'm sick. Always some shit.
Yeah. But then you look at that. And so as a customer,
I'm sick of the lie.
what do you do then next? Because what you gotta do is remember this is a domino. So we rolling in a sequence. So as a customer, you're already like, all right, we're gonna finish this and see this thing through. But then what do we always talk about? What is the most valuable thing that you give up that you can't get back?
My time. And I'm
And
wasting lots of it dealing with them
and
capoots.
as the time keeps on moving, keeps on moving, and keeps on fucking
And
moving,
then you get, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to say that.
you're looking at it and you're like, damn, how much longer
Ooh,
is
child.
this gonna be? But then let's say the process is done. And now
Because you don't pay attention to other details, small details. Those small details, because your butt didn't pay attention to them, turn into big impediments. And now you're blaming somebody else.
and then you gotta
It's
look
your
at it.
fault, they fault, his fault, her fault.
And then let's say you the people doing the work or the contractors or whatever we doing.
The
Sh-
ordering,
Should
the
I come
building the website, whatever it is.
should I come back and ask my customers who I think don't think I did a good job? Should I ask them for a referral?
Don't ask me. I'ma tell you. And this
Should
is
I should I ask them to give out a public survey?
you know what?
Rate your experience?
You know what? That's like a really good question because even like when we've hosted people,
Yes.
um, they could very well say nothing at all, which is very indicative that we did a trash ass job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they could say all the great things shining from the mountaintop, right?
That's true.
Now it's up to us to ask for feedback.
Yes.
But when it is willingly provided and it's positive, I don't have to ask you for your feedback. But what do you do in that situation where no feedback is provided? Do you run the gambit and ask, can I get your honest feedback? Right? And as the parties that's being asked, should they respond truthfully or should they keep their mouth shut and let silence speak? Close the coffin.
Now see, as a business owner, main goal is always customer
Mm-hmm.
satisfaction. You want to know if you're a real business owner who wants to keep learning. It's about
Want to
learning.
stay in business,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, that part. But you also want to be learning because nothing stays the same. And so if you ask a customer who you may not have had the greatest relationship with during that process, can you promise to give me your honest feedback?
Right.
Now, you also have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay,
have an expectation of what that feedback is. But if you are oblivious and you've been fucking oblivious the whole time and you've been that character playing the blame game, I'm pretty sure your expectations are going to be as high as a goddamn kite.
well then I can't help it for being oblivious because there's no acceptance for being oblivious as being a business owner. Now, you can say I didn't know, then that's ignorance. But oblivion is different.
Yeah.
Oblivious is a person who sees a hole in front of them
Intentionally.
intentionally, the steps in the hole,
Yeah.
saying, "Ooh, I didn't know how deep it was,"
Yeah.
but you saw it was a hole.
Right. 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 Right.
You were oblivious to how deep it was, but you still saw a hole,
You
and
still went
you
there.
still decided to step into
You
it.
went there.
That is on you
Yeah.
because you could have went around or found a way over the hole.
So should it be intentional omission? You
Oh,
just playing stupid.
and
You playing
a lot
stupid.
of people do that,
You playing
and
stupid.
they do it well
But you think people don't realize that you playing stupid.
because
Playing in your face.
remember, humans think that their brains are the best brains ever. Every human thinks differently. But, they'll be like, man, don't nobody think like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
ain't,
can't,
ain't nobody cunning like me.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't con a con.
Yeah. Pretty sure there's someone that's cunning quite similar to
Oh, yeah,
you.
it's cunning. They cunning right on out the business.
Right.
And so you just gotta think about that. When you look at where you stand as a business owner,
Where you started, how the process went, and where you ended or landed, right?
did it end well?
Did it end well? So you can see something through, totally finish something, whether it's an episode, whether it's a product being created with a partner, whether it's getting your goddamn oil changed, right?
Yeah.
There's an experience that happens throughout.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it through. You can finite it.
Yeah.
You can finalize it. But there's an experience in the middle that tells the story. And just because it ended doesn't mean that those individuals are gonna want to be around you anymore, gonna want to work with you anymore, gonna want to talk to you anymore, gonna want to refer you to anyone anymore, gonna want to send anyone to your website, gonna encourage anyone to be on your show, gonna
All that.
ask, people, let people know you will and the partner. Ain't nobody gonna do that. There's an experience in the middle.
You know what that middle is? It's the dash. Because like everything has got a beginning and end, but in between there, however long or however short it is, there's a dash. Now, that dash means a hell of a lot
A
to
lot.
everybody because there's no fucking telling what happened during that dash.
Nope. Sometimes what happened during that dash can equate to the middle finger.
Or not getting a good customer referral and unhappy customers for a process.
Yeah, middle finger.
Yeah,
That dash can be something really good that can open so many doors for other things.
yeah. And crazy thing is, there are businesses that took off and they flamed out.
Yeah,
And then there's some that, started hot, hit low, hit hot, hit low,
yeah,
but they just moved along.
yeah,
And then there are those who just started, ended within the blink of an eye.
yeah,
And you see how I said started, ended. Because by the time they started, they were done.
yep.
And so you just gotta decide where do you want to fit in all that. And customer satisfaction and referrals will be a big part of that.
But you know what? Let me say this too. Customer service, customer satisfaction, referrals, they're huge. But it's also during that process, customer interaction, customer engagement, communication, like all that. It's a lot.
What you're saying is there are steps within the steps.
It is. It's a 1, it's a 1A, a 1B, a 1C, a 2, a 2A, a 2B, a 2C.
All right, give me that outline. I see you, girl. I
Yeah,
got y'all following your outline.
yeah.
Picking up what you're putting
Come on
down.
then. Master's degree.
Okay, what you putting down?
Yeah. Accountability is big.
Accountability is in the dash. God damn it, boy, that's a big one.
But when you too busy playing the blame game, you're showing
Pointing at everybody else but you.
you are not accountable.
It was so and so.
It's always somebody.
And them that days and them those and others.
Yeah, I was gonna say those. Like it's always something. Accountability, like, say I messed up.
Yeah.
Say it and move on.
Just say you miscalculated.
Yeah. But like when you're at the point where you're so fucking tacky that you can't communicate with people, like to me, you're an emotional, unprofessional piece of mess. Like you need to grow and develop because you ain't it. And you are Emma fucking sure.
And what they say, when you flame on, you might flame out. Well, thank you, Miss Parker, for tuning in with us, hooking us up with that there information about being radical. Now, I'm gonna say why you say radical? So sometimes being good at customer service means you might have to think like a radical.
Right.
Sometimes you might think outside the box to get some shit done.
Yep.
Sometimes you gotta think outside the box to keep your customer happy. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box to get out of your own fucking way. And hey, we'll catch y'all next time.